सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा.
Namaste everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are happy and healthy at home. This is the second video of first chapter of microeconomics. In my first video already we have seen about the meaning and definition of economics. At the same time we had discussed about the macro and macroeconomics. In this video we will talk about the difference between the normative and the positive economics and also understand what is the nature and what are the different types of economy. Okay, so starting with the positive and the normative economics, what is the difference between positive and economic? So note that though this topic is very easy, very simple to understand, but still sometimes it creates some confusion, and definitely it is the most common question that can be asked from this chapter. So first starting with the meaning of positive economics. So what is positive economics? Positive economics is something that deals with the facts and figures of anything. For example, in 2011 the population of India is this. That is the fact and figure. Yes, it was. Okay. Or we are talking that at the eve of independence, the foreign trade of India is worth rupees of this. Yes, that is the fact. So if we are talking about the facts and the figures and the dealing with the facts and figure, that means we are talking about positive economics. On the other hand, if we are dealing with the opinion that if government has done something like this, it can be like that. That means we are giving our opinion. We are not talking about any exact figures or the facts. It's simply a statement given by the people on the basis of their opinion. So normal opinion. If people are giving normal opinion, that means they are dealing with the normative economics. Second thing about the positive, that positive economics related to the what is, what was and what will. In present, it might be in past or maybe in future. So the exact condition of past, the exact figures about the present and the exact figure that we can estimate for the future. So if we are talking about this exact, maybe in past, maybe in present or maybe in future, it will come under the positive economics. But the normative economics is related ought to be, what would be, क्या हो सकता था, क्या हो सकता है, ऐसा करेंगे तो ये हो जाता, not sure about that. So if we are not sure about that, then normative economics. Positive economics are the statement that can be verifiable. So verifiable statement, because we are talking about facts and figures and this facts and figures can be verified. अगर हम उसके ऊपर रिसर्च करेंगे, अगर उसके ऊपर हम चेक करेंगे तो we can verify that whatever statement is given here is correct or not. Okay, but on the other hand, normative economics cannot be verifiable. So you can remember like this, normative economics is only about the normal opinion, okay, and that cannot, so no, not normative. So normal opinion that cannot be verified is the normative economics, and the facts and figures that can be verified is the positive economics. The next about the positive is, it is not necessary that the thing that the fact or the figure about which I am talking is always true. It may be possible कि जो statement मैंने दिया है वो गलत है. So अगर हम उसे verify करेंगे, we can check whether it is right or wrong, but we cannot debate on that. हम उस पर debate नहीं कर सकते because वो facts and figures है. Facts and figures पे क्या debate करोगे कि नहीं हमारी population 2.11 नहीं 2.13 होगी या 2. जो फिगर हमने सेंसस में निकाला that is the truth and we have to accept it. उसमें हम debate नहीं कर सकते. But normative economics gives us chance to debate on that. That means अगर मैंने कोई opinion दिया है तो it may be possible कि मेरा opinion controversies create करे, and then the people those who are having something different opinion, then different idea, then it can lead to controversies. Or we can simply understand the statement given by the most of the politicians are always creating controversies in the country, and that's why almost in news channel we are in evening time is for the debate. तो उसमें जो facts and figures that they are giving is the positive, but what they are doing is the normative. Okay, so the positive economics not involve value judgment because they are the fixed facts and figures. उसमें value judgment बिकॉज वो ओपिनियन नहीं जिसकी हम वैल्यूज़ को जज कर सकें. तो फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स है, दैट मीन्स नो वैल्यू जजमेंट. बट नॉर्मेटिव इकोनॉमिक्स, बट इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट द ओपिनियन, द आइडियाज, the perception of the people, and that can be judged. So value judgment is there in the normative economics. And for example, number of death in Italy due to COVID-19 is more than the that of America. Yes, अब आप जाके वेरीफाई कर लो whether this is true or wrong. That means अगर मैं ऐसा कोई स्टेटमेंट देती हूँ, then it will come under the positive economics, because I can check, I can go through the reports and find out that whether the number of death in Italy is more or the America is more. But if I am talking something like that, reservation is the main reason behind the lack of good doctors in country. Reservation is the most controversial topic of the country right now, of this age. And everyone is having their own opinion regarding whether we should have a reservation or we should not have reservation, and what should be the criteria and what should not be. Like, differ from person to person but cannot be verified, because each and every opinion is right from their point and wrong from this point. So this is the main difference between the positive and the normative economics. So if we are dealing with the facts and figures that can be verified, so we are talking about the positive economics. And if we are dealing with the opinions that cannot be verified and can lead to controversies and debate, that is the normative economics. The next topic is different types of economy. Already we have seen about the sectors of the economy, like on the basis of control and management. 3 sectors of economics are there. The same is here with the new terms and the new definition. So first is the centrally planned economy, or it can be called as the controlled economy. Okay, so what is this? If the the production, the consumption, the distribution, everything is controlled, run, managed by the government. So if this type of economies existed in any country, is having the centrally planned economy or the controlled economy. As everything is done by the government, the main motive behind this is social welfare. Government is working to increase the welfare of the people. Government is working to increase the human development index for the people. The next, as government is doing anything, government is not able to give choices to the people. Whatever is given by the government, we have to use that. For example, it is the distribution of rice through the PDS system. There we can't debate that we want Dubraj or Masuri Safri or any type of basmati rice. Whatever government is giving, we have to use that. People are not having choice in that. The resources are controlled by the government. As everything is under the control of government, the main resources, the raw materials are also having the control of government. Price is also determined by the government. So because everything is by government, it is also called as the controlled economy, or because it is under the control of central government, centrally planned economy. Public sector PSUs are dominating in this type of economy. The next is the market economy. Market economy is controlled by the market forces. We will discuss about this market forces later on in the demand and supply chapter, that how demand and supply control the market and what is the impact of demand and supply in the economy. The next is motive is maximizing the profit. The main motive behind this is maximizing the profit. Those industries or the public, the units, those who are producing and managing the resources, the main motive of there is the profit maximization. They are working for their profit rather than for the public welfare and the basic necessities of the people. The consumer can have choice because n number of producers are there, n number of industrials are there. So they are giving n number of choice to the people. Resources are controlled by the people. As these entrepreneurs are directly using or taking resources from the people or from the country, so we can see the control of people over the resource also. Market determines the price. Here the forces of market, the price will change according to demand and the supply of the goods. And this will be seen later on in the next chapters, that how this demand and supply control the price in the market. And private sector dominates. As everything is private, private sector dominates here. Now we'll see a fusion of both the economy, centrally planned economy and the market economy. It may possible that one country is everything is done by the government, or it may possible that things are under the control of private entrepreneur. But there is a problem with both, because if everything is under the control of government, the competition in the market will not be there, and our goods cannot be competed in the global market, and the people will not have the choice. The standard of living will not be developed because government can do only for the basic necessities. Government can't increase the luxurious goods in the life or for the country. At the same time, if government is controlling the price, ultimately the profit will not be, the profit level of the entrepreneur will not be increased, and then they may stop the production also. But on the other hand, if everything is under the control of private sector, just like the East India Company, we have seen how their policies are impacting the country which over which they are ruling. The India suffered a lot because of the complete control of the East India Company in the market. So what can be done? What is the solution to have the best type of economy? And that solution has been found in India also, that we are having the mixed type of economy where something is under the control of government but something is free for the private, so we can have the profit and the welfare, both goes hand in hand. Okay, so the next is the mixed economy. Mixed economy is regulated by the government. The terms, the conditions are and the regulations are given by the government, but market is free. The private sectors are free to have their own demand and supply chain. The main motive behind this mixed economy is profit as well as welfare. The PSUs are working for the welfare of the people, and the private entrepreneurs are working to maximize the profit that ultimately increases the GDP of the nation and increases the global participation of the country. PDS system provides the basic needs, that is for the welfare under the control of government. At the same time, market gives us choice. Different varieties of products are there. They are by the different producers, and because of this, people are getting more choice. Resources are controlled by both, as this is the mixed form of economy where government and private both are existing together. So resources is also controlled by both government. Some of the resources will be under the control of government, and some of the resources are free for the people and the entrepreneurs. And the last is that price determined by market but regulated by the government. Though most of the goods, their price are determined by the market forces, like when demand increases, price increases, when supply increases, price decreases, and that we will see in the demand and supply chapter. So though everything has the influence of the demand and supply, but still to avoid the extreme situations, so that there should not be any loss for the consumer because of high prices, and there should not be any loss for the producers because of low prices. So to balance this, to maintain this, government also interfere in this type of economy. So this is the third and the best form of economy that India is having. So these are the three types of economy that can be defined on the basis of control and management. So this is all for today. I hope my videos will help you in learning economics easily. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe it.